All right, Pouring Nation, I hear you loud and clear. Last week we did a test because I found that Elmer's school glue actually made great lacing, and I wanted to see if it would work for the Sheleeart blooms. And guess what? It totally works for the Sheleeart blooms. This is one of the pieces that I made. Granted, it's not exactly like the Sheleeart blooms, but for somebody just starting out that needs to have something very simple, it works great. Now I got a ton of questions from you guys. What about if I don't have house paint? Or what about if the house paint doesn't work? And a bunch of statements that said it's really the Amsterdam white that makes all the difference and not really the pouring medium. So, you know me, we got to test that. So we're going to do three things. Because I bought a ton of glue to do a glue off, which I'll link in the description below, I'm going to try Craftsmart white glue. I'm going to try the Craftsmart clear glue. And then I'm going to try with just the glue all. Now with every single one of these, I'm going to put my cap back on. With every single one of these, I am not using any house paint. I'm using glue as the base, and I'm using glue with colors, same three colors I used last week. These metallic colors from Artist Loft, red, purple, and green. And then I'm using the white and glue, that's it. Now, the base paint is the thickest. If you've seen my video about the thickness of paint, this is a thickness of 3, or the most thick. The colors are the medium thick, so mound upon a mound. The white, or the cell activator, is going to be a tiny mound and then disappears. So three different consistencies for these paints. And all I did was 1 part paint, 1 part glue, and then water to consistency, both for the colors and the cell activator. So we're going to test all 3 and show you how it looks, see if we can't get the same results as the school glue with an even simpler version. Okay, first really quick, just to show you the consistencies. This is my glue all, and the base paint is a pretty good mound and then goes away. You want it to be pretty thick, mound upon mound upon mound, and then goes away. So this is my color paint, and when you make them in this size of thing and you leave it out, man, it dries out really quickly, so you got to be careful there. So this is going to be mound upon a mound, and makes this little squiggly at the end and then goes away. Because I don't have a lot of paint, it's hard to see, but it's the end, that right there, that you want to get for this. And then for the cell activator, it's going to be thinner than that. It's going to be tiny mound and then goes away. Tiny mound then goes away. So it's not a lot thinner, but definitely thinner than the paint. So we're going to do that right here. And see how it still makes that nice I have no color in this. This is going to be just barely off-white when it dries. Maybe the cell activator in the middle. Now, one thing I learned last time is you don't want to blow straight down. You want to blow a little bit so it grabs and then pull it over. So as you can see, glue all does not make cells. Even if I gave it a little torch, glue all just doesn't react. So glue all for the Sheleeart pouring is a fail, although you could use it as a base. Alright, so next we have the clear glue. Now, one thing about the clear glue, it was not thick enough to be a base. So I had to add some glue wall to the base to make it thicker because the clear glue was very thin. So again, same consistency, mound upon a mound upon a mound. And we're gonna do the exact same thing. And this is the Craftsmart clear glue. Sorry, I think I said Elmer's before. Craftsmart clear glue. All right, so I was not expecting that, but the clear glue selled up a ton. The base wasn't quite thick enough. That's why it's not kind of condensing in the middle. I'd need to thicken the base up, but wow. Wow. Clear glue might have a winner here. We'll see how that ends up in a few minutes. All right, next up is our Craftsmart white glue. The white glue was by far the thickest glue, so we had to add a ton of water to get it, not a ton, but maybe a quarter part water to get it to be the right consistency for the base. Got a little bit more cells there. All right, so a few minutes have passed here. This has turned into a nasty mess. I don't like that at all. This started to get some cool, it started out with some cool cells, but then it's just kind of devolved into nothing good. And I want to try this one again. I'm going to add some white to the base to see if it helps how the cells form and how they stay. So again, all I've done is added some white to the base. Again, it's super pretty to start out with, but it just devolves once it sits for a bit, kind of like this has done. So let's give it another minute to sit and check them out. And because I just can't leave well enough alone, I'm going to add white to the base. I'm using the same Craftsmart white glue, but I'm adding white to the base and doing the same test. All right, so here's the contenders. It's been about an hour since I poured. This is the clear glue with white in the base. This is the Craftsmart white glue with no white in the base, and the Craftsmart white glue with white in the base. So the clear glue does make some nice cells and lacing, but because of how the clear glue is made, even though it's thick, when it dries, it kind of thins out and starts to separate and move. So yes, it will work, but it's not going to be as crisp as the other methods. So the Craftsmart with no white in the base, one thing I have noticed is it started to crack and craze here. You can see that there. But where it hasn't cracked, it looks pretty good. Not bad. And then the white glue with white in the base, it did all right. So I don't think any of these is as good as the school glue. And that is the video that I would recommend you watch next if you haven't already, right here.